The hallways of Westbrook High were never quiet. Every bell brought a storm of sneakers, voices, and slamming lockers. But in a small corner by the east stairwell, silence suddenly fell. All eyes turned to a circle forming near the lockers. In the center, two identical boys stood quietly, backs straight, eyes calm, but cornered. Jake and Jackson White. They were pale-skinned, platinum-blonde twins who transferred to Westbrook only 3 weeks ago. Always dressed in loose hoodies and cargo pants, always keeping to themselves. Some thought they were weird. Others called them emotionless. But one group had a different label for them: easy targets. What the bullies didn't know was that the twins had been training in Krav Maga, Jiu-Jitsu, and Muay Thai since they were 5 years old. Their father, a retired Special Forces instructor, raised them not just to defend themselves, but to endure, to remain composed even in the face of real fear. But no amount of training could erase the pain of being different. Jake and Jackson weren't like other kids, not because they were twins, but because they carried trauma that left scars invisible to the eye. When they were 7, their mother had died in a home invasion while protecting them. Their father, unable to forgive himself for not being there, trained them hard, sometimes too hard. He poured his guilt into their conditioning. And so, by 14, the twins could break boards, disarm a knife attacker, and take down full-grown men in sparring, but they couldn't answer a simple "where are you from?" without freezing. Because the truth was, they weren't from anywhere. They'd moved too many times to belong. That day at Westbrook, 4 boys closed in on them. Ryan, the ringleader, was already smirking. He was the kind of bully who didn't need a reason; your silence was enough. Well. White ghosts don't talk, huh? Ryan said, poking Jackson in the chest. You guys mute or just too scared? Jake calmly put his backpack down. Jackson's eyes briefly met his brother's. A code passed silently between them. Ryan pushed harder. Answer me, freaks. Still, nothing. The other boys jeered. One tried to trip Jake. Another threw a crumpled paper ball at Jackson's face. That's when Ryan reached out to grab Jake by the hoodie, and that's when it happened. In a split second, Jake deflected the hand with a circular sweep, locking Ryan's wrist in a painful twist. Jackson stepped forward, swiping another attacker's leg, sending him crashing hard onto the floor. The twins didn't yell. Didn't gloat. Every move was precise, controlled, like a symphony of efficiency. The hallway erupted. Phones came out. Screams and gasps echoed through the walls as the twins neutralized all 4 bullies in less than 30 seconds, no excessive force, just enough to leave bruised egos and aching limbs. And then they stood still, backpacks slung back over their shoulders, and walked away. The video went viral before the end of the day. At home, their father didn't praise them. He didn't smile. Instead, he said quietly, I didn't raise you to hurt. I raised you to stand. We didn't hurt anyone, Jake said, we just reminded them we're not afraid anymore. Their father didn't reply, but the glint of pride in his eyes said more than words ever could. The days that followed were not easy. The twins were called into the principal's office. Ryan's parents threatened to sue. The school considered suspension, even expulsion. But the footage saved them. The video showed restraint. It showed 2 young boys defending themselves without unnecessary violence. It showed that they had a right to be there, just like anyone else. Eventually, the charges were dropped. But the emotional storm was far from over. Some students admired them now. Others kept their distance, whispering behind their backs. But something strange happened. Slowly, other students started coming forward, not to challenge them, but to sit with them at lunch. To ask questions. To listen. One girl, Emily, came up to them after class. My brother gets bullied too, she said. But he's scared to tell anyone. I showed him your video, and for the first time, he smiled. The twins didn't say much. They never did. But the small nod they gave her was enough. It meant everything. Weeks passed. They joined the school's martial arts club not to dominate, but to teach. They started holding quiet workshops on self-defense and emotional control. Students who were once afraid began showing up just to learn how to breathe, how to stand, how to not feel helpless. Jake and Jackson finally